Why do some people dislike you without ever knowing you? Why does your success stir silent resentment instead of support? And could it be that their hatred says more about them than it does about you? Welcome to Stoic Bridge, the bridge between ancient wisdom and modern life, guiding you through life's storms with calm and resilience. In this powerful episode, we'll explore 9 surprising psychological and philosophical reasons why people may secretly hate you, often without any clear reason. Whether it's the envy your presence sparks, the values you stand for, or silent insecurities you unknowingly expose in others, the truth is often hidden beneath the surface. Have you ever sensed unspoken tension in a room? A cold glance? A strange shift in energy, despite your kindness or good intentions? It's not always about you. In fact, most of the time, it's about what's unresolved inside them. We'll dive deep into causes like envy, projection, values clashes, gossip, competition, emotional immaturity, and unmet expectations. More importantly, we'll explore how to respond, not with anger or self-doubt, but with the clarity and strength drawn from Stoic philosophy. With insights from Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, this video will help you detach from the weight of others' opinions and reconnect with your own peace and purpose. Whether you're navigating friendships, workplace dynamics, or family challenges, understanding these emotional patterns is key to protecting your self-worth. If this is your first time here, welcome to the community. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new lesson on strength, character, and inner peace. If this message resonates with your experience, share your thoughts in the comments, or just type peacefulness to let us know you're walking this journey with us. Let's begin. Part 1. Envy and jealousy. As we just explored, human psychology plays a significant role in shaping the way others perceive us. One of the most powerful and deeply rooted reasons for someone developing negative feelings toward you is envy or jealousy. These emotions are like silent poison in relationships, transforming admiration into contempt and respect into resentment. Envy and jealousy often arise when someone notices something in you that they desire but believe they can't attain. It could be your career success, your achievements, or even the way you carry yourself or live your life. These feelings are more than just a momentary reaction. They are often a reflection of dissatisfaction with their own lives. Rather than feeling inspired by your accomplishments or sharing in your happiness, they may instead feel threatened. Your success becomes a mirror that highlights their own perceived shortcomings and unfulfilled desires. This sense of envy can quickly spiral into something darker: resentment. The more they see in you that they long for but can't have, the more they may wish for your failure, hoping that seeing you fall will ease their inner frustration and disappointment. What's even more troubling is that envy and jealousy can push people to take destructive actions, such as spreading gossip, slander, or even sabotaging your efforts. They might try to discredit your work, spread rumors about your character, or undermine your accomplishments in an effort to pull you down from the pedestal they've placed you on in their minds. It's important to remember that envy and jealousy are not reflections of your actions or character. They are personal struggles that belong to the person feeling them. It's easy to internalize such hostility and questioning or blaming yourself for their feelings. But it's vital to understand that you are not responsible for someone else's sense of inadequacy or dissatisfaction. Your achievements are yours, and they are not diminished simply because someone else is struggling with their own frustrations. Marcus Aurelius once wisely said, don't worry about things outside your control. Envy and jealousy are beyond your control, and embracing this Stoic principle can help you navigate these situations with grace. Rather than letting these negative emotions affect you, focus on what you can control: your own actions, thoughts, and responses. By doing so, you'll maintain your inner peace and stay focused on what truly matters: your own growth and happiness. With that in mind, let's move on to explore the next surprising reason why some people may harbor negative feelings toward us. 2. Misunderstandings and ineffective communication. As we've already seen, envy and jealousy can be powerful drivers of negative feelings. But another key factor that can lead to unwanted hostility is poor communication or misunderstandings. In fact, these seemingly small missteps can quietly grow into deep, lingering resentment. The heart of many conflicts often lies in the way we communicate, or fail to communicate, and how our words or actions are interpreted by others. It only takes a single misplaced word, a misunderstood tone, or even an oft-timed facial expression to leave someone with the wrong impression. What may seem like a simple mistake to you can easily be perceived as disrespect or coldness by someone else. Over time, these small communication errors can build emotional walls between you and others, creating a sense of distance or even hostility where none originally existed. Effective communication is the cornerstone of any relationship, and without it, misunderstandings are bound to happen. When we can't clearly express our thoughts and emotions, we leave room for others to misinterpret our intentions. A slight miscommunication can snowball, leading to negative feelings that didn't need to arise in the first place. Moreover, the lack of active listening exacerbates the problem. When we don't make an effort to truly understand where the other person is coming from, we risk jumping to conclusions or making inaccurate judgments. Instead of seeking to connect, we might form assumptions that drive a wedge between us. These misunderstandings don't just remain as minor disagreements, they begin to distort the entire relationship, painting an unfair picture of the other person. That's why recognizing the impact of communication failures is so important. We must be proactive in seeking clarity when things are unclear and give others the benefit of the doubt. The goal should always be to foster transparent, honest, and open communication. If we make a conscious effort to walk in the other person's shoes, we can prevent unnecessary misunderstandings and build stronger, healthier relationships. Now that we've explored the role of misunderstandings, let's move forward to uncover another surprising reason why some people might develop negative feelings toward us. 3. Differences in fundamental values and beliefs. As we've already discussed, misunderstandings and communication failures can breed negativity, but another critical factor in creating divisions between people is the differences in our fundamental values and beliefs. In this diverse world we live in, each individual is shaped by their own unique set of values, like distinct puzzle pieces that come together to form the bigger picture of their lives. But when these values clash with those of others, it can spark intense disagreements and eventually even resentment. These differences aren't limited to just political or religious views. They can emerge in everyday aspects of life, ranging from opinions on work ethics, lifestyle choices, and even seemingly insignificant details in our daily interactions. When someone holds their values as the only right or superior way of thinking, anyone who believes differently can be viewed as a threat, a challenge to their very sense of identity. It's as if any opposing viewpoint is an attack on who they are at their core. This defensive mindset builds a wall, turning what might have been a minor disagreement into a foundation for disdain. When beliefs are deeply held, any challenge to them can feel deeply personal, which leads to escalating conflicts over identity and worldview. What started as a simple difference of opinion often transforms into a serious divide, creating barriers that separate us. The failure to truly understand others, coupled with quick judgments, only adds to this rift. These judgments form walls that block empathy, preventing us from connecting with each other. Over time, these walls grow, and so does resentment, especially when it's fueled by unacknowledged fears and biases that we often don't take the time to address. In Stoic philosophy, there's a strong emphasis on the idea that our beliefs and values are products of our unique experiences and perceptions. As Epictetus once wisely said, each of us is a product of our own upbringing and surroundings. Understanding this can help us appreciate that others may have different values and beliefs based on their own lives, and it encourages us to be more tolerant and respectful of these differences. By fostering open dialogue, tolerance, and respect, we can prevent resentment from taking root and even enrich our understanding of the world around us. Accepting that not everyone will share our perspective and recognizing that this is completely natural is a critical step toward living harmoniously in a diverse and pluralistic society. Now that we've explored the role of differing values and beliefs, let's move forward and dive into the next factor that can lead to negative feelings between us. Tasht 4. The influence of rumors and gossip. As we've seen, fundamental differences in values can create rifts, but another powerful force that can breed hatred and resentment is the influence of rumors and gossip. This is one of the most common ways that negativity takes root in relationships, often without any clear reason or justification. Gossip, whether it's fabricated or exaggerated, has the ability to severely damage your reputation and turn others against you before you even have the chance to explain yourself. Gossip spreads quickly, much like a contagious virus, seeping into every corner of social circles and poisoning the trust that binds relationships. What's especially unsettling is how rumors can take on a life of their own once they start circulating. They morph, they change, and before you know it, they've created a false and negative image of you, one that is incredibly difficult to undo. The more distorted the truth becomes, the more it reinforces the negative perceptions others have about you. What makes gossip so particularly harmful is that it often targets the most sensitive aspects of your life, your flaws, or even the mistakes you've made. These whispers aim to tear you down, sometimes with little to no factual basis. Yet, despite this, rumors can still gain momentum because people have a tendency to believe what they hear, especially when the gossip aligns with their pre-existing biases or suspicions. It's almost as if hearing something negative about someone confirms what they already thought to be true. The allure of gossip lies in its sensational, often forbidden nature. People are naturally drawn to juicy, scandalous stories, and this fascination causes them to spread the rumors quickly, treating them as if they were undeniable truths. The consequences can be severe. Beyond just hurt feelings, the fallout from malicious gossip can lead to social isolation, damaged friendships, and even a significant impact on your career and personal life. Hatred fueled by rumors is one of the hardest types of hostility to combat because it isn't based on reality. It's based on a distorted image of you, one that has been shaped and twisted by others. This version of you may not even resemble who you really are. That's why it's so important to recognize the dangerous power that gossip holds. Even though it may be difficult, standing firm in your truth, maintaining your integrity, and not allowing yourself to be swayed by the negativity are essential steps in countering these lies. In the end, your authenticity and transparency are the best defenses against the poison of rumors. Trust in your truth, continue to uphold your values, and stay committed to who you really are. These actions are the most powerful tools you have to dispel the lies and gradually rebuild your image in the eyes of others. Remember, truth and integrity have a strength that is far more enduring than any lie or malice life may throw your way. With that in mind, let's now move on to the next factor that can lead to deep-seated resentment between individuals. 5. Personal insecurities and projection. As we've already discussed, the power of gossip and rumors can create lasting hostility. However, another factor that often goes unnoticed but plays a significant role in fueling negative emotions is personal insecurities and projection. These insecurities, when left unaddressed, can transform into envy, resentment, and even hatred, particularly toward those who seem to have overcome similar fears or weaknesses. Insecurities can arise from various sources, such as past trauma, perceived failures, or the constant pressure of social comparison. As the philosopher Seneca wisely observed, when individuals feel insecure, they tend to project those feelings onto others. They might target those who embody qualities they lack or fear. For example, someone who feels insecure about their career might develop resentment toward a colleague who is excelling and moving forward in their field. This projection becomes a psychological defense mechanism, allowing the individual to avoid confronting their own feelings of inadequacy by redirecting that negativity onto someone else. This process doesn't just remain as mild resentment, it can quickly evolve into hatred. As the person with insecurities sees you as a constant reminder of their perceived shortcomings and struggles, they may begin to view you as a threat. Your achievements or positive qualities reflect what they feel they lack, but instead of being inspired by your success, they may interpret it as a challenge to their own self-worth. This leads to a sense of being diminished or less than, igniting a hostile reaction toward you. It's important to realize that this hostility is not a reflection of your actions or character. It's an outward expression of someone's inner turmoil. Recognizing this truth can help you avoid taking their negativity personally. Instead of internalizing their hostility, you can maintain a healthy perspective, understanding that their feelings are driven by their own internal struggles. Moreover, acknowledging this dynamic is key to responding with compassion and empathy. When you can see that their resentment stems from their insecurities, it opens the door to more positive interactions and can help clear up unnecessary misunderstandings. Approaching these situations with empathy allows you to foster a more supportive environment, both for yourself and for others, leading to more understanding and less conflict. As we move forward, let's now explore another important reason why people might harbor negative feelings toward us and how we can navigate these challenges. 6. Lack of empathy and understanding. As we've seen, personal insecurities and projections can often drive hostility, but one of the more subtle yet powerful factors behind negative feelings is a lack of empathy and understanding. Ideally, every interaction would be fueled by empathy, where we could truly understand and feel for each other. But in reality, this isn't always the case. When someone fails to put themselves in another's shoes, an invisible wall starts to form between them, leading to misunderstandings that, over time, can spiral into deeper hostility. A lack of empathy isn't just about not feeling what others feel. It's also about failing to recognize their motivations and responses accurately. When someone can't understand where another person is coming from, their reactions become distorted, often fueling resentment where no real offense has taken place. Words or actions that were never intended as slights can be misinterpreted, and this gradually grows into negative feelings toward you. Without the ability to empathize, it's easy to fall into the trap of prejudice, seeing everything in black and white without recognizing the nuances of each situation. This narrow view leads to shallow judgments, assumptions based on surface-level impressions rather than an honest attempt to understand the person or their circumstances. These judgments, built on ignorance, create fertile ground for resentment. In many cases, the person who feels resentment hasn't even taken the time to understand the full picture, and as a result, they project negativity onto you. This lack of empathy is often linked to self-centeredness. People who are deeply narcissistic are so absorbed in their own lives that they can't or won't acknowledge the experiences and emotions of others. Their indifference to others' successes, struggles, or feelings can easily be mistaken for hostility, leaving you feeling dismissed or even belittled. When someone is consumed by their own worldview, it's hard for them to see beyond their own bubble, and this often results in a cold, dismissive attitude that feels like hatred. It's important to recognize that, in many cases, the resentment others hold toward you may not even be about you. It's a reflection of their emotional limitations and inability to empathize with your situation. When you understand this, you can approach such conflicts with more balance and perspective. Instead of taking it personally, you can work to build bridges of understanding, or at the very least, protect yourself from being affected by the negativity that comes from their emotional struggles. Now that we've explored how a lack of empathy can fuel hostility, let's move on to the next reason why some people might harbor resentment toward us. 7. Competition or rivalry. As we've already explored, a lack of empathy can drive negative emotions, but another powerful source of resentment comes from competition and rivalry. These dynamics often fuel endless comparison, creating a fertile ground for hostility. When competition goes beyond healthy boundaries, it can turn into an obsession, a burning desire to see the other person fail or fall from grace. Competition and rivalry are present in nearly every area of life, whether it's in the workplace, among friends, or even within families. In small doses, healthy competition can serve as a powerful motivator, pushing us to achieve more and grow personally. But when rivalry shifts from healthy competition to a toxic obsession driven by insecurity, jealousy, or unresolved issues from the past, it can become a consuming force. Suddenly, the focus changes from striving for personal success to hoping the other person stumbles and falls. This shift from constructive competition to bitter rivalry often happens when someone feels overlooked or undervalued by another. Rather than using this feeling as motivation to push themselves further, they become fixated on tearing the other person down. Instead of growing, they become obsessed with belittling or undermining the other. It is believing that success at the expense of the other is the only way to feel validated. The resentment intensifies when someone perceives the achievements or recognition of another as undeserved, or even worse, as something that should have been theirs. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, unchecked rivalry can lead individuals down a dark path of destructive behavior, such as defamation, sabotage, or personal attacks. When the desire to win at any cost takes over, it disregards ethics and leads to actions that are specifically designed to harm others. These actions don't only hurt the person they're aimed at, they also erode the character and integrity of those who engage in them. It's essential to recognize that competition and rivalry can be powerful sources of hatred. Identifying these emotions, either in ourselves or others, gives us the opportunity to transform competition into collaboration, or at the very least enact to learn how to compete in a healthy, respectful manner. Remember, another person's success does not diminish your own. There is enough room for everyone to shine. And adopting this mindset is a potent antidote to the hatred born from mindless rivalry. By fostering mutual respect and collaboration, we create an environment where everyone has the chance to succeed without tearing others down. Now that we've examined the role of competition and rivalry, let's continue exploring the next reason why some people might develop negative feelings toward us. Right? The influence of social expectations. As we've discussed, competition and rivalry can foster hostility, but another significant factor that can lead to resentment is the influence of social expectations. Society often imposes certain norms and standards that we are expected to follow, and when someone perceives that you don't conform to these expectations, negative feelings can arise. Imagine living in a community where everyone follows specific cultural traditions, values, and career paths, but you choose a different route, perhaps pursuing an unconventional career or entering a relationship that doesn't align with traditional standards. For some, this decision may feel like a shock, and even worse, it may spark discomfort or resentment because your choices challenge the values they've spent their lives upholding. The resentment doesn't really stem from you, but from the invisible pressures of societal expectations. Your decisions reflect back to them the rigidity in their own thinking, forcing them to confront the contradictions within their beliefs. It's unsettling for them to see someone break free from the mold, and in some cases they may respond with negative feelings as a way of defending their own worldview. It's crucial to remember that this life is yours to live. Your choices, whether they're big or small, are steps on your unique journey toward personal happiness and fulfillment. You don't have to live according to the expectations of others, no matter how strong those pressures may feel. Living authentically and staying true to your own values is essential for your mental and emotional well-being. By embracing who you are and standing firm against societal pressures, you open the door to a life that is genuinely your own, one that is rich with meaning and fulfillment. Don't allow the judgments or expectations of others to dictate your path. Have the courage to live a life that reflects your true self, regardless of how it might make others feel. Now that we've explored the influence of social expectations, let's move on to examine the next factor that can lead to negative feelings in relationships. 9. The lack of recognition. As we've just discussed, social expectations can lead to resentment, but another critical factor contributing to negative feelings in relationships is the lack of recognition. The feeling of being overlooked or underappreciated is one of the deepest roots of resentment. We all want our efforts, our successes, and our contributions to be acknowledged, but when those efforts go unnoticed or are undervalued, bitterness starts to build up. In the long run, this can transform into full-blown hatred, especially in competitive environments like the workplace, family settings, or social circles, where the desire for recognition is particularly high. As the philosopher Epicurus wisely noted, when someone feels that their achievements are underappreciated, this feeling can easily become a seed of resentment toward others, especially those who seem to receive more attention. However, it's important to keep in mind that recognition is highly subjective. It varies from person to person and depends largely on individual expectations. Some people need constant validation and appreciation to feel fulfilled, while others are more independent and self-assured. That said, this recognition isn't always something that just comes naturally. We have to be proactive in communicating our appreciation and acknowledging the contributions of others at the right time. Doing so can help prevent the buildup of unnecessary negative emotions and create stronger, healthier relationships built on mutual respect. A little recognition can go a long way in creating a positive, supportive environment. In navigating these complex emotional dynamics, it's also crucial to set boundaries with those who bring negativity into your life, especially those consumed by their own insecurities. These individuals can disrupt your peace and, if you're not careful, influence your emotional state. Setting boundaries isn't a sign of weakness, it's a powerful act of self-preservation. You're protecting your mental and emotional well-being, which is essential for long-term happiness and personal growth. Remember, much of the animosity directed at you has little to do with who you are. More often than not, it's a reflection of the internal struggles and insecurities of the person harboring those negative feelings. Whether the resentment stems from jealousy, misunderstanding, conflicting values, rumors, insecurity, lack of empathy, or competition, it's important to understand that these emotions are more about them than about you. You are not responsible for other people's negative feelings, nor are you obligated to please everyone. By understanding these emotional dynamics, you can adopt a more balanced perspective on relationships, ensuring that negativity doesn't affect your self-worth or worldview. Instead, focus on nurturing your strengths, building positive relationships, and surrounding yourself with people who value you for who you are.